Of the magic I've seen in video games, Elden Ring is the most unique. Some of the game's bosses wield different kinds of magic, making every encounter feel more fresh. Without further ado, let's get straight into this. To start this video off, let's go to where all magic starts, the Academy of Raya Lucaria. Almost every enemy in this area fires glintstone magic at you. Thank goodness you don't take damage when you are opening this door. These soldiers went a little crazy after dealing some damage to them. I've never really seen an enemy do something like this. Also, what kind of academy has a graveyard? There are even magic skeletons that can take FP with their grab attack. That never happened in this footage, but what did happen was grabbing the carry knight armor in front of this big grave. A dog wanted to join me on this elevator, but he missed his chance. I reached the room with all the glintstone enemies. I did so well dodging through them until one hit me at the last moment. This is why I don't like this area. The first boss in this area is the Red Wolf of Radagon. This glass cannon can be a bit of trouble, but thankfully it doesn't have a lot of health. I'm surprised I didn't die here honestly, as the boss can deal a lot of damage. After I defeated this red wolf, I saw this boulder magically spawn. How can you just summon a whole boulder? There was a carrion knight right behind this. This carrion knight loves to parry everything, which is so annoying. Even when I played this game the first time, I made a short that I got parried twice by this dude. On the next attempt, he accidentally fell into this hole. I went up the elevator to meet the Queen of the Full Moon. Phase 1 is pretty boring, as you need to hit 3 enemies that have a lit candle, and then hit Renala. I only had to do this twice thanks to how much damage I deal. Phase 2 gets a lot more interesting. She uses magic as her main source of attacking. Maybe that is why she's resistant to magic damage. I got a stagger and repulse her very early on. Renala may be in the water, but we still have great damage. She tried to summon the troll near the end of the fight. It could have been a whole dragon or a bloodhound knight. This couldn't stop me, and we achieved victory. I tried to get a cool photo, as you can see, but I was too late. I went up the lift of Deathis and arrived in Altus Plateau. I noticed the girl I helped in the last video. She was waiting for me here so she could take me to Volcano Manor. We'll talk more about this area later. I forgot to get the site of grace at Altus Plateau before going to Volcano Manor. I did end up getting it after wasting 15 seconds skipping the cutscenes to get here. I like how Altus Plateau looks like fall or autumn, if you know that way, seasonal area. The yellow and orange trees and grass just look nice. There were some burning skeletons guarding some loot. One of them followed me for a pretty long distance. Unfortunately, the loot here isn't useful for me, and I collected more graces and seeds. Altus Plateau has the most golden seeds in the base game. I made a short trip back to the mines for the second Bell Baron. With it, I bought the rest of the smithing stones for a plus 12, but I was a few runes off. I decided to fight another Erdtree avatar in Lernia. Now that we deal fire damage, the Erdtree avatars are even easier. They take double the fire damage since they have a resistance of -100. I guess that would make sense for a tree. I just made a bad pun about a tree, didn't I? I easily took it out and got my weapon to plus 12. Back in Altus Plateau, I fought Margit again. This time though, he did do some different combos instead of just the one in the last video. Did that stop me from no-hitting him? No, it did not. It also ended the same way as last time. A simple stagger and repulse was enough to win the fight. In the end, I got a talisman that increases stamina. If you're enjoying the content so far, why not consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel? Your support helps me make more videos like this. I heard there was a festival at Miscellaneous Castle and decided why not go. Even Alexander was present in this. He was a bit nervous and gave me some story. I hope he does well. One question. Who hosted this festival? That would be General Radon, a favorite boss of mine. His first phase has 2 parts. The first part is using his bow. You could despawn him to get him into the second part, but I didn't want to easily beat him like that. And that is also cheating. I also didn't want to be hit by his arrow shotgun blast. That ended the hitless attempt for this boss. That brings us to his second part, which he uses melee. Radon does have generous windows to attack in between his attack. When he does his star color cry, you have plenty of time to stagger him, which I did. Throughout this fight, he used gravity magic to not only add rocks to his weapon, but also pull you close during Skycaller Cry. This gravity magic is also used with Cragblade. I also love that you can summon a whole army to fight with you in this fight. In phase 2, he comes crashing down like a meteor. However, we end Radahn quickly after landing. Good fight, General. Can we talk about how beautiful this cutscene is? I may be biased as I love space, but this is incredible. Also, here's the picture for the thumbnail. We could now two-hand the Rune's Greatsword after killing Radahn. I could have used Radahn swords with the Rune's Greatsword, however they are used quite a lot, and I simply like the Rune's Greatsword better. I fought Godric again in Altus Plateau. I think I'm seeing a pattern with these bosses. Anyways, I did get hit a few times with this one. The thing is, this fight is just Godric's phase 1 with one phase 2 move. I don't have a clue on how I didn't do this one hitless. I only defeated him for the runes. I used the runes to upgrade the Rune's Greatsword. In fact, I went to another Erdtree avatar to just get the runes to level this up. I know that the Erdtree avatar uses faith projectiles, but I see it more as divine magic. I try to have as minimal farming as possible. If I do happen to farm, it won't be for levels and only for upgrade materials. After all that, I got to +4 before going to Volcano Manor. Volcano Manor has a somber 5 and 6 for my greatsword. The 6 was easy enough and the 5 was also easy to grab. I pushed this lever to get back to the side of grace. I knew after this cutscene was finished, I would get hit. I did get hit and I rested at this side of grace. This playthrough of Elden Ring is going better than I thought. Even with Elden Ring's many magical bosses, we managed to stay ahead. Comment below your favorite type of magic in Elden Ring. And remember, we can reach for the stars while keeping our feet on the ground. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back to join me in the next one. Have a wonderful and safe day, everybody.